Ladies and gentlemen, you are my dancing friend. Let's speak about the Somi curse. For some reason, I got gifted with the ability to curse things to hell. I use it very, very sparingly. I don't use it all the time. Matcha is now cursed. Confirmed. Better not to become a non-friend of ours, or you'll get it like Matcha. What happened to Matcha? On the left-hand side, we have the before curse. So if we squint, we might be able to see what's going on here, friends. Doesn't really matter. Matcha is built by 0x protocol. It's a DEX, basically fake DeFi DEX, just lets you trade, exchanging. And what they did was they went out of their way to delist Hex. And I found it very interesting because they shouldn't have. They have other trash coins on there. Why would you go out of your way to delist it? It's because they drink soy. They have pencil necks. Their arms are flaily. They don't train legs. You know what happened to them? What happened to them was the CFTC has now gone after them. Okay, the CFTC has fined them for listing specific coins. Now, what type of coins are they? Don't worry. LEV, friends, leverage coins. They are listing derivative leverage coins. And the CFTC, because they want to control with the CME and the rest of the US government when it comes to these financial activity centers, they have to do this basically. And they want to always make sure that they are the financial center volume. By the way, friends, I accidentally opened my message inbox here. Trust me, I do whatever I can, baby dolls. I have like 600 to 800 plus unread messages. I really, really wish I could work faster. It just is overwhelming me. I love you to death. I love you to death. That's why you got to catch me around. It's very hard to catch me. Catch me around, memeing around, posting around. If you can get lucky, then maybe we'll be able to talk. Sometimes, like, things just get sent to the top of my inbox randomly. Sometimes on Telegram, but it is what it is, man. We're trying to make it our own way. And I'm just one man, so I can't get through everything. Now, when it comes to this stuff in crypto, just know that we're still in the then they fight you phase. And it's important for every community to band together because, for example, Matcha 0x protocol, taking on the Somi curse is not something you want to do. They are now missing out on 150,000 people who could be supporting them. I'm going to make sure that you guys understand this as well. There is a huge difference in the 0x coin, ZRX, between fully diluted and the market cap. Before you touch any coin, always make sure you have a look at this because you want to know, are there other coins out there that are not circulating right now? Because when they do get circulating, guess what? They're going to come and dump. You don't know. Like, so this might be the Bitcoin bull market, this zone right here. So you don't know, are they going to unlock earlier and like dampen the bull? Because I've saw coins do this, by the way. So in an ideal world, they don't unlock. They get to the top of the bull market and then they unlock and dump. In an ideal world. Unfortunately, we don't live in an ideal world. Many of these projects, even though they say they're going to unlock in the bull market, they might unlock here, and then here, and then here, like that. So what ends up happening is you get a dampened, see this distance here, you get a dampened result. So instead of getting maybe like you're expecting a 30x, you might only get like a 4x, which is, you think, what's wrong with the 4x? I'll tell you what's wrong with the 4x, because Ethereum is going to do a 4x. That's what's wrong with it. You literally make no money. You took on all that risk for nothing. So that's why it's super important always to make sure you check where the coins are, who's distributing, how they're doing it, and how they're selling. I found this also interesting from Charles. Charles mentioned this very interesting comment. He says, what are the odds that Gary Gensler, right? Gary Gensler has laser eyes in 2025. Now, I don't think he's going to put laser eyes, but he did make me think, I go, you know what? That might be a top signal that we might add to the list. Because, you know, just to let you know, friends, of course, how many people do you know in crypto or anything in this world? How many people say to you that they are going to sell the bottom and buy the top? 0 people. Okay. No one says, I'm going to sell the bottom and I'm going to buy the top. But what do we know happens? We know everybody sells the bottom and buys the top. And then sells the bottom. We know they do that. So we can't judge them. We have to welcome them with open mind, open heart. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, bell button. Or we have to welcome them and think about how we're going to get the edge over them in particular. And how we do that is by mitigating risk. That's why when it approaches the bull market, I know, friends, a lot of you message me saying, hey, can you please, I'm so scared about missing the top. Can you please tell us the plan to scale out? Honestly, don't worry about it. When we're so far away from what you would even remotely consider clicking sell on, besides all the like the poopy McPoop meme coins with like 14-hour life cycles, okay? Everything else, nowhere near. But when the time starts to approach, don't worry. We're going to have a long list of things to do. There's going to be a list. Don't worry about it. We're going to have a list. We're going to check off list. When we start seeing, I'm not joking, Jim Cramer, bullish, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citibank, the insider cartel stuff, looking for, we even have Gary Gensler himself. If Gary Gensler is bullish, he's going to be ticked on the list as a top signal. It's going to be towards the end. Now, it's not going to mean the top, but it's just going to let you know we're in a red hot zone. Red hot non-friendship zone. The non-friendship zone is the exit zone. That's what we're going to be looking for. And if we are thinking about that today, it increases the probability that we survive when everybody else unfortunately fails, because they're not going to believe in doing the right thing. And doing the right thing would mean cutting yourself off and exiting. Now, just a quick mention again, friends. Don't forget, this is the most important chart in crypto. It's not even a crypto chart. It's US real wages since 1965. Just got to remind you, this is the zero line. Have you noticed? Unfortunately, the middle class gets absolutely destroyed because of inflation. The money printing does not go to the middle class and lower class. The money printing goes to the bug eater overlords, their cronies, and all the people who are worshipping around them. They get the money first. They get the money first. They get to spend first. So poor people are constantly being churned out, unfortunately, or everybody constantly staying poor. Therefore, they're always going to be incentivized to take higher and higher amounts of risk just to catch up. And guess what? We're in the highest risk threshold you could possibly get in this world cryptocurrency industry. And of course, speaking of risk, friends, no one is going to tell you that the risk is increasing after the Bitcoin ETF. No one's going to tell you that. But you know who's going to tell you that? Me, because we're friends. And I don't care how unpopular things will make me ever. It doesn't really matter. I will speak the truth. There's a time and a place for everything. Yes. Look, friends, out of 4 years, okay, 3.5 years is the market going down DCA mode. The final 6 months is exit mode and play in degen speculation mode. That's the game of crypto. You have to be able to change. If you don't change, then you're going to get crushed with everybody because too many weak hands are going to enter with us. Just like if you sell down here and try to buy it another time, the problem is you're selling with too many weak hands. So once the weak hands are gone, well, there's literally just nothing stopping you on the way up. You're going to miss it. And then flip that around. If you are holding when there's too many weak hands entering, even though you don't like the price. So yeah, maybe Bitcoin's only 80,000. Maybe it's 150,000. I hope it is. But if it's only 80,000 and you see weak hands with you, you see the Jim Cramer bullish signals, you see Gary Gensler chugging away and he's got laser eyes. You're seeing Citibank, JP Morgan call for a $500,000 Bitcoin. You're seeing all these. You know deep down there's too many weak hands here. The risk is high. You're like, damn it, why did these weak hands have to enter with us? But you can't do anything except act, right? You're going to mitigate your risk at that point. That's a long way away. But no one's going to tell you that it's going to be risky. Why? Because they're going to put this chart up. I promise you, I've already seen it. They are putting this chart up right now. It is the gold ETF. It's what happened after the gold ETF. They proved it here. Gold did a 4.3x rally. 4.3x rally. And over like 9 years. There you go, 9 years. So this is what they're going to be mentioning to you. And it's not going to be pretty because it's going to tell you to keep holding and holding and holding. But well, you don't know it, right? They're going to tell you it did 4.3x. But what they're not going to tell you is it took 9 years. So when you're in like year one, you're like, wait a minute, we got like 8 years of rallying, don't we? Do we? Do we, friends? Do you really want to take that risk? I'm going to ask you that. Do you really want to take that risk knowing that Bitcoin is like in its 4th cycle and like we don't know what's going to happen here, but if you see acts of degeneracy, like let's say they launched Peppy coin number 68, yeah, now it's $1 trillion, it's like 500 billion market cap. You got to be thinking with your wits. So, you know, just as a rough measurement, if Bitcoin rallied as much as gold, it'll be $100,000 Bitcoin in the year 2032. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. There's more money printing and stuff going on as well. So I also have GoJox out here. So GoJox is here to challenge the scenario. And I appreciate you, friends. You don't have to agree with everything because you're a baby doll, baby cake. You wear your fuzzy socks. You don't have to agree with everything. I don't expect everyone to agree with most stuff. It doesn't really matter. Mr. GoJox is saying, this is not accurate to compare gold when you can keep increasing the supply by digging more up and manipulation of shorts. Just to let you know, the Bitcoin ETF, friends, they're going to manipulate the price of Bitcoin. That's what they're doing it for. They're not doing it to like, you know, oh, wow, let's make everybody rich. No, they're not. They're not. Just to let you know as well, gold inflation is actually less than Bitcoin. Did you know that? But you didn't know that. I know you can't count every single gold bar, but they have estimates and satellites and like they tally it up all around the world. And it's about like 3,000 tons out of like 190,000. So it's about 1.5 to 2%. It's actually less than Bitcoin. But people didn't even know that. Isn't that nuts? So it is a good comparison, but it's not the perfect one we have. And I don't want you to fall into this trap. So this is going to save you from the bull market trap. So Mr. GoJox replies, see, but we know the full supply of Bitcoin, while gold can probably be mined from Moon or Mars at some point. A finite supply of Bitcoin, but I understand your point of view. So this talking point is really dangerous. This talking point that Mr. GoJox said, he basically said, with Bitcoin, we know the supply, we know the supply. I promise you, every Bitcoin maxi you can think of is going to be talking about that same point at the top. They're going to be telling you those points. Why? Because if Bitcoin flips gold, it is $500,000 Bitcoin up here. So what they're going to be saying is, by the way, Plan B's model puts 500K Bitcoin as well with stock to flow. So up here, or even here, wherever the top is, friends, we know where the top's going to be. Wherever the top is, they're going to be referencing gold. They're going to say, gold, gold, gold. We don't know the supply of gold, but we do know the supply of Bitcoin. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. You know from liquidity and the mindset and perception of people and humans when they participate in markets, it only takes around 3% of the total market cap to impact anything. So the inflation, whether it's 1.5 or 3.5 or 2.5, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is, and if you get this zone here, friends, you can do literally 3% times 21 million Bitcoins. All it takes is 630,000. That's your number. So 630,000 Bitcoin is going to be the final inflection point. If they be like, you know what, we've run out of buyers, I'm out. That is going to be the most important part, because the bull market will run out when you finally run out of buyers. It has nothing to do with actually these sellers. It doesn't, okay? But see, these sellers are coming in anyway. So when you run out of buyers, you're going to have to think, okay, the bull market is losing steam now. Even if those sellers decide not to click sell, it doesn't really matter. That, you know, it's the opposite of a bear market, friends. The bear market ends when you run out of sellers. The bull market ends when you run out of buyers. Now, I want you to think, who on earth is going to be buying Bitcoin at 80,000 when they, you know, assuming that they have not heard of the BlackBerry Rocca Negra ETF, they haven't heard of gold supply. They know all the talking points, man. They know all the talking points. So you're going to have extreme speculators up there. But are they going to be speculating in Bitcoin, or are they going to be in the poopy McPoop coins on like Dex tools finding the new stuff? That's something you're going to think about. How much speculation juice is actually left to squeeze out of this in its fourth cycle after 15 years, 16 years by this point? That's what we're going to have to reassess, and we will be reassessing that as the coast becomes more clear. But for now, we're going to be holding along our merry way and appreciating that me and you are still going to be friends forever. Make sure you tell mum and dad we love and appreciate them. I'm going to catch you in the next one.